This is a video on using the pen tool to trace an object. Here's my steps to using the pen tool. I click the pen tool and I change the fill to nothing. So the fill, I'll click the none button. Then I'll bring the stroke to the front and I'll pick a nice bright color. In this case, I'll pick a bright red. I'll also take a look and make sure that my stroke is relatively thin. That's how I set up my pen to get started. The next step is to get nice and close, very close to the subject. Most people understand corners when it comes to creating shapes, but they're not very good at curves. So we'll be talking about curves. This technique is for beginners, and I want to overstate that. And I'll explain as I go along how this is going to work. But brightly colored stroke, no fill, zoom in really close. And then what you do is you click and you drag and you point the handle in the direction you would like the handle to go, which is in this case up the snout. Now I'm going to move forward quite a bit, keeping an eye on this handle that's behind me, and I don't want this handle to overlap that one. The handle should never overlap. I'm going to click and point the direction I should go. I actually don't need this handle, but this is just something I suggest students do in the beginning, which is get used to click and point the direction they want to go. Now I'm pressing on the space bar to get this hand tool out, and I can move things so I can see where I'm going. And again, click and point the direction you want to go. Watch that back end swing back. Make sure these don't overlap, and then continue the process. Always point in the direction you want to go. Now when you come up against an area like this, you want a shorter handle. That's all you have to worry about. Don't overlap the last handle. Nice short handle. Point the direction you want to go. And keep this process going. Again, point the direction you want to go. Now I'm going to point down and point the direction I want to go. I think you're getting the idea. Then you just continue this all the way around the subject. Now this will take some time, but again, all it is clicking and pointing the direction you want to go. There is more to the pen tool than what you're seeing here. Definitely. I do want to mention that if I made a big mistake anywhere that I really wasn't happy with, like right there, I could press the control key. I could let go and then press my control key and go back and change some of what I did back here. Then I'll let go of the control key and I can continue to move along, pointing the direction I want to go, like so. But that control key trick I find quite helpful sometimes. You know, I'd love to not ever have to go back, but sometimes you have to. Notice I don't create many handles or many corners at all. I could click there to make a corner, just click, but instead I click and drag. Now here's me getting a little bit more advanced. This trick is pretty simple. If I hold down the Alt key, I can break the handle, and if it's not going the direction I want to go, I can point it the direction I want to go. And this is a trick that is a little bit more advanced. Works pretty well. Again, hold down the Alt key and point the direction you want to go. There's another technique, but watch this. I'm going to hold down Control so I can fix this part and then continue back where I want to be. This is another method that you can employ, which some students use. You'll learn about it. If you go back to the point and click, you can actually kill one of the handles. I just never see a reason for clicking on a handle to getting rid of a handle. I might need it, so I never do that. I don't really teach it. I just point the handle the direction I want to go by holding down the Alt key. Now there's actually not a whole lot more to the pen tool than that. I mean, the goal is not to have too many points in the first place, and I am putting unnecessary points in here. And some students, when they start off, they might actually have way too many points. But this technique of always pointing the direction you want to go is a great way to start, and as you get better and better with the pen tool, you'll leave less and less space between things. But as I start to finish this up, let me show you what it looks like when I don't unnecessarily keep pointing the direction I want to go. So for example, if I was like, I want to point this way. So I took this way out. That's not the direction I want to go. I don't want to go this way. but I do want the bottom handle to curve out. So let me take this, point this way. There we go. I am basically pointing the direction I want to go, but not quite. Again, this is just me understanding the way the curves work. There's going to be less space between these curves than the others. Then I'll come up here and point this up the neck, hold down the control key, drag this up even higher so it's actually not quite pointing the direction you want to go. Again, this is more advanced. Right here, I'm going to click, drag this back, hold down the Alt key, work my way around the jaw. And this is what you can do when you get better with the pen tool. You'll use a different type of logic, but for now, just point the direction you want to go until you get comfortable enough to experiment with some of these other methods. But really, that's about all there is to the pen tool. It just takes time to get good at it.